Hello procrastinators, welcome back to my channel. I am I'm going to be making some bread. So what you need is 200 grams bread flour, some yeast, salt and water. Very simple. You also need olive oil. Very simple recipe. So yeah, welcome, and let's start off with dumping our flour into a bowl. I only have this is the only big bowl I've got. It's a Halloween bowl. If you don't have bread flour, then normal white flour just works. White flour works as well if you don't have bread flour. This is my first time actually making bread. Bread at home. So I've only done it in like a culinary course, so it's gonna be great. I think I need 3.5 tablespoons, or is it teaspoons? I actually don't know how much is in here. There's the yeast. That's what yeast looks like. Very simple, very cheap to get. Just get a bunch of them. There's my teaspoons. Got a teaspoon. Should probably get a whisk as well. I think this is actually right. 1, 2, 3. And then there's the half. 3.5. If you want to make a bigger batch, just double it. The website where I got this recipe is from Good Food. So for the salt, you need 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of salt. The website that I looked at said 2, but because I only have 150 grams of flour, I only need to just have all of it. Some olive oil, 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5, and then I need one, actually, and you're gonna probably need about 1 teaspoon to grease your pan. And then 150 milliliters of water. Again, the website that I looked at said 300, but because I don't have that much flour, I went with halved it. So using this mug, I think it's like 1 or 2 of this kind of mug. Now, I think, if I remember correctly from the class, you need lukewarm water. Hot water will kill the yeast, and we don't want that. And cold water will be too thingy for it to inhabit, so. There's 1. Too hot. Need to wait, because as you can see it's steaming and we don't want it steaming. So, gonna empty some of it, add some cold water, and that will make it lukewarm. And there we go. Then, you get a whisk. And just mix it until it becomes a dough consistency. And then once we've got it to sort of a dough consistency, then you can start to knead it. Now I think this might be a bit watery, but it should be fine as long as, yeah, because bread has this sort of complex where it needs to be warm for some reason. And sorry if you can hear things in the background. I've got Worst Cooks of America on. Right. Right, I think this is a bit too watery. As you can see, it's like sticking to my fingers, and that's not what we want. So, this is not the consistency that it should be. It should not feel like slop. So, luckily for me, I've got a little bit of flour in here, which I'm also going to use for kneading. A little bit of flour. Just mix it in until it becomes the consistency of dough. You need it thick with like 7 C's. It is becoming thicker, which is what we need. Again, it's still very okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I needed to delete some stuff. So, still adding more flour because it is not the right consistency yet. So, and with bread, don't be afraid to get your hands a bit messy. It's the joy of making bread. So right now, this is what my dough consistency is. Not exactly ideal, but it's what we have, so we're going to work with it. And I guess what I can do is just add a bit more flour, because I don't really know exactly how sort of because I don't have a measuring jug. It's been like almost 4 months of living in my apartment, in my flat, and I do not have a measuring jug, which I feel like is really like a necessity, but here we go. What I need is to grease this bread pan, as I'm kneading this glue, and I feel like handmade bread so much better than like you know, normal bread like that you buy from the store. Like, it's not as processed. It's really good. It tastes really nice once you get the handle of it. And having to do things one-handed it's a good talent to have. It is getting to a good consistency, but it's still very you know. So, gonna wipe off any excess dough. Like, I have like autism, so it's very, very difficult for me to do this because the texture is gross. But I needed to make a video, I need to be consistent, and I can't really do that with like college. I think I mentioned in my last video when I was procrastinating doing my college assignment. Right, there's a bit more flour, add a bit more. You never really know what you need, and if it's too much then you can always add a bit more. You can always add a bit more water. Right now I feel like the food when I did my sort of culinary course, which I do have a certificate for, but it has my name on it, so I'm not really going to show it. Like, unless you actually know my name, I'm not going to actually like just come out and say it. So as you can see, it's still very droopy, but we are getting at a good consistency that isn't bloop. So that's getting better. I think just it's like, it doesn't matter how much flour you use, as long as you have, unless you like balance it out, which is, you know. Right, here's another. We are getting there, so it is sticking to my shirt, this bowl, and I'm going to have, I think the water might have been a bit too warm as well, but I did try, and it's the only bit of flour that I have, and promised I'd be making bread. So hopefully in my next one, if I still have my pumpkin, I'll be making a pumpkin stew or a pumpkin curry. It's only a little pumpkin, so. Also, quick tip for getting free of messy hands is grab a little bit of flour onto your hand, like that, like so, and then just rub it together. Comes off fine, should do, but because I only have a limited amount of flour, you could just wash your hands as well. But there we are, flour. Hopefully this is enough. If not, then well. Well, it is getting to a more dough consistency, which is what we need. Hopefully I have a little bit of flour left, and then add that, mix it, and then leave it to rise. Hopefully I have enough, and it hopefully isn't all gone, but it is getting to a better consistency. It's still sticking, and bread dough should not stick to you as much as it is to me, so Let's see. Oh, I only have a little bit of flour left. Right. 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 I am going to wash my hands. I'm going to see if I can get some more flour. So, I will be back after I've washed my hands. Right, I am back and I have flour. Any flour works, but, well, kind of. Because we've already added yeast, didn't want to think to add self-raising, but if you don't have any yeast on hand, self-raising is fine. Right, let's just, oh, there's the flour, clean hands, they're about to get messy again. There we go. Minimal droopage, but now I think it's a bit too dry. But it's working. It is working, and that's what we wanted. Here is our dough, and now it's time to knead to activate the yeasty boys. If you know that reference, please follow. It's getting there. So we move this to the side into our sink, and then we pour a little bit. Try not to Right, here is our flour. It is still a bit sticky. So here, I'm going to try that tip again now that we have more flour. That's probably a bit too much, but and here we go. You saw what it was like before I used the flour. And now it is a bit better. Although some of it is still a bit sticky. I'm probably going to be on cleanup duty, but it's fine. Sprinkle a bit more flour and fold. And then again, sprinkle a bit of flour and fold. Sprinkle a bit of flour and fold until sprinkle a bit of flour and fold. Keep folding in on itself. And here we have it, our bread. So, as you can see, no dripping. It is getting stuck, but just a few, just going like this. Because the dryness of the flour reacts with the wet bit of the flour, and most of it is off. There we go. And you gotta keep kneading, and to tell that your bread is done, you do the poke test. And as you can see, it's coming up. It springs back up. That your bread is ready to be put in the oven. And I forgot to preheat the oven, so 1 second. 200 Celsius. I don't know what that is in. I don't know if there's any Americans watching my channel, so you may have to do that conversion yourself, because English, but a little bit. Because if you over knead, then it won't rise up, and that's a crucial part of the whole. Yeah. So we have our bread tin. It's a bit messy because spread it out and in. And there we go. Our bread is in the pan and time to score. And to score the bread, you just need scissors or a knife or whatever. So I'm just gonna score. And there we go. Now that it is somewhat scored, I think you can see that pattern. Scored a little bit. And then all this needs to do now is get into the oven. Alexa, how long does bread need to cook?
Good afternoon, Artemis. According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Different types of bread require different cooking times and techniques. The optimal temperature for baking bread is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 177 degrees Celsius. For one good bread recipe, at this temperature you should cook your bread for 30 to 33 minutes, or until golden brown on top.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I am going to go clean up and I will be back in 25 minutes. Little update. You all saw that it was very, very messy, and I am back and I have a change of clothes because my other one was messy and my alarm just went off, so it is time to get the bread out. I did move it. Oven mitts, gotta be safe. And here is my bread. Here is my loaf. Loaf of bread, freshly made. It is very gorgeous. It smells very good as well. The score didn't really stay that well, but it looks very gorgeous. I did drop it. The pan, so that means that the oil worked its magic. Gonna keep it in the pan until it cools. And then there we have it, our very own loaf of bread. And thank you for joining me on this journey of making bread. Bye, and stay procrastinating.